What's going on, everybody? It's ZachMichael here. Today we're gonna be making a pop beat using SERUM 2. It just came out and I think SERUM 2 is absolutely fire. But first we're gonna get started with the drums and then we're gonna kind of build a little bit of melody. So I'm just going through our rock drum kits that we have on our site to try to find like a cool sounding snare drum to use. We're gonna start making a bit of pop drums. We're gonna do 108 BPM, I think. We might change that, but just kind of start building out a very basic drum pattern here. I like to layer in claps sometimes on the snare. Sometimes I'll even layer in multiple claps. I'm kind of thinking about the arrangement of these drums for the beat as I'm producing. So like I already know like I'm gonna pull out different sections. Like I might have a section with no snare drum, or a section with none of these claps, or no hi-hat. But I try to have multiple layers so I always have stuff I can pull in and pull out. Just because it gives me more freedom to have different sections. Whenever I'm making beats, I try to have different sections. Just like that, we got some starter drums. Let's go into SERUM 2 and we're gonna get started on a melody here. We're gonna try to find like, I don't know, something to start with. Maybe we'll start with like a pad sound. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, this sounds pretty good. And let's kind of build in some chords here. Pretty basic, nothing too crazy, just basic triads, and I'll just add another note on top. It's not really like the main sound, just something to kind of start building out melody. Bit of bass in here. Then we're gonna do something electric. Like this. Now we can have the bass just completely following kick, but I like adding like some of my own kind of variation to that. I think we're gonna do something like this. And to make the bass sound a bit more realistic, I like to randomize the velocities a bit. And I'm gonna add a wider, just to kind of bring that bass out a little bit more. Now we got like a cool little bounce there. Now we're just gonna try to bring in some more sounds. This is the sound from my Titan SERUM 2 bank. Have that kind of like in the background there, just add a little more bounce. Really want to layer this pad with like another pad sound. I like something like this, but I want to kind of reduce some of this attack. So I'm going to just pull the attack back. And I want to mix it a little differently. So you can go into here, If you go in a main custom factory, you have a ton of different options you can pick for stuff. I'm gonna use this one here called the E piano chorus. I'm just gonna turn down the volume of this. And we're just gonna add a little reverb to it. Okay, so far we got that. I'm gonna go into arcade. I want to try to find like a cool sound that I can kind of loop in here. And this beat was made in A minor. I think I'm gonna try to find like a guitar and Tasty Jams here. Or maybe it'll be piano, I don't know. So something in here. I know I want guitar, so I'm gonna click guitar. Maybe this. Actually, this might work perfectly. Try this and see what it sounds like. Okay, that's pretty good. I just want like one more pop sound in here for the melody. Go to maybe the 70s. Brass. Let's see if we find something brass. Like that, maybe the little brass stab. Maybe we even throw a delay on it. Yeah. Now I'm listening to these hi-hats and I know I want a section where they speed up like this. So I know that I want the velocities to be changing. And I want to pick a different hi-hat sound. Yeah, that might work. Alright, so let's get started on this arrangement here and see what we got. We're gonna have a pretty cool pop beat here using SERUM. And just quantize that. I like having these like bouncy bass. Pretty cool. And just like that, let's go ahead and get started on this arrangement. So, gotta kind of see like what sounds I want to be the intro. Kind of like this sound. I think the bass too, but I might simplify it, like removing these top parts. Just having it be this. That way like the super bouncy part can kind of come in at the start of the beat, just to give it some variation. You know, I like having things that kind of change up. I think a lot of producers, when they're making pop beats, they always try to add new elements to change things up, and you can do it that way. There's nothing wrong with that, but sometimes all you got to do is take an already existing sound and maybe change up a chord or change up the pattern just a little bit. And it's another way to add variety in your beat without having to always have like a new element come in. Have it start like this. Pretty cool. Bring the guitar out. Little sped up section here with that hi-hat. I like this section. I think we can get even more complex on the bass though. Yeah, do something like that. Just keep going. Like that. And I just know that all these C's need to come down to B for the second half. me a section here with no drums. Even longer pause. Yeah. And we'll just duplicate that over. Just like that. We got a pretty fire pop beat made with SERUM 2. Thank you so much for checking out this video. If you enjoyed, be sure to listen to my podcast, Creative Discipline with TheZachMichael, out now on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Amazon. I talk a lot about the music business and my experience as a professional in the industry, and it has a lot of very valuable knowledge that you can definitely learn from, a lot of stories on there, and a lot of very insightful based conversation, so definitely check that out. On top of that, don't forget to explore my free and paid sound kits on my website, elizabethrecords.net/kits, and also check out the latest apparel from my company, Anderson Apparel. We sell tons of different products, and they're very high quality, so feel free to check those out as well. Thank you so much for watching.